死んだのか。エルサ、なんであの女が屋敷に。
Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we're gonna talk about ReZero Season 2, Episode 6. The first thing I wanted to talk about today is Elsa. As we saw in the last episode, Subaru gets killed by her when he returns to the mansion. How did she get there? Did someone hire her to kill Subaru? And also, when did she arrive? These are just a few of the many questions floating around my head after watching Episode 6. Hopefully this episode answers some of those questions and gives us a better understanding of why Elsa was at the mansion in the first place. The episode starts off with Subaru respawning in the graveyard shortly after finishing the first trial. This also means Amelia is about to wake up with her mental trauma again, which even after seeing it for the second time is still extremely hard for me to watch. Subaru tries to instantly comfort her, unlike last time, where he asked questions first, then comforted her. I'm assuming that he remembered that Amelia was too shocked to respond to anything the first time, so Subaru, with some quick thinking, went to comforting her first this time because that slightly worked the last time with her. It ended up working out and her actually being able to respond to Subaru and not just instantly passing out after trauma like last time. Still, she was completely frightened, but at least Subaru was able to bring her back to her senses, which is amazing progress in my opinion. Anyways, the episode then cuts to a house in the village where everyone is discussing things. Amelia believes she is only okay because of Subaru and shows her gratitude to him. Now we move on to the big plot point in today's episode, Amelia's trial. She brings up the trial in the discussion and Subaru responds that he's got an idea about what it is. Everyone else is fairly skeptical of him, as they should be because they don't know yet that he took the trial already and already passed the first stage. He then proceeds to explain that the trial is about your past and there are 3 stages. Amelia's reaction says it all, that everything he just said was very true. We then move on to Subaru's suggestion of taking the trial himself in Amelia's place, since he's already passed the first trial. Garfield is the first to refuse, which is quite surprising considering he wanted Subaru to take the trial in Subaru's last life. Amelia then asks Subaru if he doesn't trust Amelia to complete the trials. He tries responding that she shouldn't face her past if it hurts her so much, but deep down he knows he just doesn't want to see Amelia broken again. Amelia wants to pass the trial because she wants to face and beat her past, and if she never completes the trial, she'll never overcome her past and be haunted by it forever. Rom then abruptly ends the conversation because it wasn't going anywhere and was just arguing. Overall, I can see where Subaru is coming from. If I saw Amelia like that, I would do the same. I don't want to see her hurt, just like Subaru. But I think Amelia should do the trial, or else her past will always harm her for the rest of her life. Well, that aside, let's move on to Subaru asking Garfield why he was opposed to Subaru's plan. Considering in his last life, Garfield wanted Subaru to do it instead of Amelia, and why did he change his mind now? After hearing what Ryuzu said, which was that Roswell wanted Amelia to free the sanctuary, it all made sense. Roswell owns the domain, so he technically is the ruler of the sanctuary. So if Ryuzu or Garfield wanted to keep their power, they would have to agree with all of Roswell's decisions, or else they would most likely get consequences. That aside, Subaru now has to figure out how to get to the mansion early and how to deal with Elsa and save everyone there as well. He goes to Roswell and asks for his help so that the villagers can go back to their home. And Subaru would have a reason to go back into the mansion to inform the families. Then he can also deal with Elsa. Basically, he can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm impressed he came up with such a well thought out plan in that short of a time span. Roswell agrees, and as they're leaving, Garfield appears to send them off. He says he didn't agree to this, but he can't really do anything about it, and he gives Subaru a glowing stone. He doesn't explain what it does. Also, Subaru said if Garfield tries stopping them, he would use Rom as a decoy to flee as a joke. After that, now Subaru is heading back to the mansion with Rom for the inevitable danger only Subaru knows about. Rom feels bothered by what Subaru said earlier about throwing her as a decoy because she felt like it happened before. Is this a sign that all of Subaru's lives are connected? It might be possible for the other characters to get back their other memories from Subaru's other lives, but that is just my speculation. Guess we'll find out if I'm right or wrong in the coming episodes. Also, Subaru tells Ram about her sister, who is just too important to her as Roswell, which she forgot about because of the witch's cult. We then go to the cutscene of them arriving at the mansion, with Subaru extremely tense if he made it in time. They are greeted by Petra, and then Subaru gets off and is extremely overjoyed and relieved that nothing has happened to Petra yet. Petra is puzzled about why Subaru is so emotional and why they arrived earlier than expected, but she just accepts it and has her bonding time with them since she missed him too. After that, Subaru and Ram goes to see Rem, and Subaru is glad to see her doing well, and surprisingly Ram asks for some alone time with Rem. Subaru complies since he wants Ram to miss her forgotten sister. It makes him happy to see she still cares for her even if she doesn't remember him. When he exits the room, Frederica is there waiting for him. They then go to the hall for some tea, where Subaru is gathering his thoughts on what questions he's gonna ask her. The first thing he asks about is the glowing stone which Garfield gave to him. Based on the stunned reaction from her and her hands trembling, it's probably something important. This thing confirms to Subaru that they both really are related to each other. She's surprised to learn Garfield didn't tell Subaru that they were related. Subaru also figures out that Frederica is the older sibling, although he doesn't give his reasoning. But he is right, which was confirmed by Frederica herself. I wonder how he figured it out. Subaru asks about the teleport trap. Frederica set up to this surprise. Frederica said she did not know such a thing. At first, Subaru thinks she is lying about not knowing anything, but the more he asks, the more believable she seems. Ram then arrives and asks why they are having a conversation without her. Ram comes to the conclusion that Frederica is working for someone and is going to take her to Roswell for betrayal. Frederica agrees to go without resisting at all. Then Subaru is majorly confused about what's going on. Then he asks Frederica why, and Ram explains that Frederica can't break the oath by herself, so if you forcefully do it, she has to break the oath out of her free will. Then she has an excuse she needs to break the oath. Subaru is astonished that they both were in perfect sync, even though they didn't plan it beforehand. Their reasoning is that they've known each other for nearly 10 years, which is fair, but still, that performance was amazing. Even if I knew someone for 10 years, I still wouldn't be able to do that. On the bright side, Subaru is relieved that it's only going to take that little work to fix everything. There's already a plan set in motion, and if they just follow it through, they'll be just fine. Subaru tries suggesting to leave right now because of the danger coming, but this is ReZero and there's no easy ways to progress. So Elsa arrives with Petra and holds a knife against her neck as a threat. Petra tells them to run while she is scared to death, which I think is quite remarkable, to hold her composure so well at such a young age, and value other people's lives above hers. Even though hers is in danger, it is straight up amazing. Rem and Frederica save her by successfully attacking Elsa and making her dodge and letting go of Petra. They then use Subaru's smoke to try and escape the mansion. Unfortunately, Subaru and Frederica end up getting pierced by Elsa's needles as they escape from the window. Ram says that they are leaving and abandoning Rem and Beatrice. Subaru and the others are against the plan because they want to save Rem, but Ram says it's too dangerous. Subaru is mad that she would say such things about her own sister. My thoughts on this are Ram is right, but Subaru is also correct. Both options are wrong choices since you lose people both ways. So why not go the risky way where you have a small chance to save everyone? Frederica takes it to herself to fix this problem and goes beast mode. I was surprised that all they need to transfer is that glowing stone. And then when she transformed, her fur is so thick that all the needles fell out. That must be one very strong fur coat for that to happen. Subaru and the others go up the mansion to try and save him, but then they're intercepted by a mob beast. Why is there a mob beast in the mansion? Does Elsa have access to these monsters? Because that's what makes defeating her even more challenging. Anyways, now Subaru is bleeding and in pain from the needle in his back. Petra successfully removes it, but that looked like it really hurt. Good job for Subaru for not fainting or screaming loudly. Now they are ready to leave, but then the building collapses with Subaru and Petra still in it. Subaru awakes to Ram, saying she could have came earlier. She's going to do something. Ram then gives both of them to Patrice, and she carries them away. Unfortunately, something crashes into her, and Subaru and Petra are back in the mansion with Subaru's vision blurred by blood on his face. He then realizes he only has Petra's arm and not the rest of her body, and screams. Now that he's destroyed, just like a classic ReZero fashion, he slouches to go and try to save Rem, where he meets Elsa again, and she tells him she killed Frederica. Then he runs to Rem's room to try and save her, but Beatrice saves him. He is now at the library. To be honest, I wasn't expecting Subaru to be saved by Beatrice. And why did she do it? She's nothing to gain from saving him, and Subaru wants to die anyways, so he can go back and try to succeed again. Also, who hired Elsa to kill them, and what's going on with Subaru? What he's going to do next episode. Well guys, those are my thoughts for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe for more videos. Until next time, peace.